So as you're connecting into your breath, just feel that expansion and contraction and make that the background to your practice. So let's check in with our physical body. Just bring the spotlight and attention to the heart, the mind, the body, and obviously any other sensations that we can notice. Remember, it's all about self-care, listening to the body, so we can adjust this practice and how we push ourselves through the day. So without noticing, changing, or want to fix anything, and being curious here and now of a snapshot of where we are in terms of sensation, just start with the head and very slowly bringing the spotlight of attention all the way down. Notice any areas of sensation, of stiffness, or tightness, or discomfort, or ease, maybe even hot or cold, or numbness, or nothing even at all. And just allow that shower of attention to gradually go down towards your feet. Just label, just notice, just consider with curious attention. And then with your mind, just notice the quality of your mind speak today, just a snapshot without wanting to change anything or look for the reasons why your mind speak has been maybe fast or agitated or slow. And then connect with the sensations of your heart, notice where your emotions are. Remember, we always allow, we always accept, we always label and we name whatever is happening right here, right now, because whenever we resist any emotions, whether we think they're negative or positive, they will always persist. It's nothing good nor bad, yet thinking makes it so. So we need to be less judgmental about negative emotions. They are there because they are part of us. Brilliant. And then set your intention for your practice. A wish for your well-being, or a roadblock that you want to get through in life, or just this particular hour where you're dedicating this practice to your well-being. Short positive sentence starting with I am. And when you've said that short positive present tense statement, just repeat it inside of your mind. Give thanks and let it go. Okay, we're going to start standing because I want to reverse the energy today. Really important that we start reverse the energy, but I want you to really make sure that you're always constantly feeling your core and your ground and your breath. So we're just going to start with some rebounding. So we were working on this traumatic stress release by releasing the tension trapped into the body. So feet slightly hip distance apart or slightly wider, very, very soft knees, and just nice little bit of bouncing and rebounding. So what we're doing is we're releasing stuck tension that gets us out of both the hypo, where we freeze flop, or trapped tension in the hyper, fight or flight. Nice soft knees. And then what we're going to do is we're going to work from the core today. So I want you to feel your core as it moves outwards. Okay, so let's see if we can swing a little bit from our core and really sense it. And see if we can make these movements start to move outwards and get a bigger. So bounce and shake and twist. Move with the shoulders as if we're pivoting for that central centre of our being, our sense of agency, our core, this bit here. And then see if you can start to make these bigger into pivoting twists. So we're lifting the heels, really feeling the sense of our core and where our middle is, almost like a rod, a metal rod, as if we're pivoting around that, and really feel the shift in attention in the feet, the knees, the gripping, whether the arms flip around. Remember, when we practice somatic attention, we're getting out of our head and our body, and it helps us heal. Somatic attention is used in anxiety and low mood, PTSD. We're focusing on sensation. We're focusing on where we feel the stretch and the sensation. Always asking the question with curiosity, what am I feeling right here, right now, as I'm moving? Lovely. And then come to a pause, and then notice the difference between the swing and the pause. Bring the feet parallel like train tracks. And then we're just going to do some heel drops. So as we inhale, come onto your toes and lift, nice long spine. And then exhale, drop with a thud. Again, sensing, experiencing, noticing the thud. So inhale, lift, exhale, drop. Feel the rebounding shake in the body. This rebounding and shaking is part of a very important movement to do with anxiety and PTSD called TRE. So we're just rebounding up and down with these heel drops. Lovely. And then we're going to take this even larger now. We're going to inhale and take the arms up as we lift our heels on the exhale, and then on the inhale, and then the exhale we're just going to go ha and soft, moving through, making a sound through the mouth with all the way through. Inhale up, lift and lengthen and stretch, and ha. Bend your knees, belly to thighs, really through, take that stress out and that tension. Inhale up, lift and lengthen, and ha, with this wave breathing. And also the sound reverberates in the chest, working with vagal tone to do with your stress response. Ha. Inhale up, lift and lengthen, feel that squeeze and tension release. Ha. Feel that lift, feel that tension in the thighs and the calves, the balance, the control. Ha. Inhale up and exhale, and then just come pressing the feet, feeling the power in the legs as you're lifting all the way up, as you're rolling the shoulders back, and then we're coming back to ourselves, checking in with sensation, physical states, just with curious attention, coming back to the breath. What can you notice? What sensations are you feeling? Pounding, reverberating, energy. Can you feel what's flowing through the body, through that wave breath? Lovely. So what we're going to do now then is we're going to start working with this squeeze and release, that tension, and we're going to come up onto this high mountain now. So lift your arms all the way up, lift, 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 lift. And then as you come onto your tiptoes, okay, we're going to come into a reactive chair. So keep your feet hip distance apart, parallel train tracks, and then exhale, squeeze and take your chest towards your thighs, and then inhale to come up, press into the feet, lift and lengthen, come onto your tiptoes, and exhale, squeeze, take your fists back, and see if we can keep going all the way up. In, press, 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 power in the legs, tiptoe, lift and lengthen, use a spot for your focus, and come down. So now we're going to do some twists now. Let's move into this flow. Inhale, lift and lengthen. As you bring your hands into prayer down the centre, as you drop your heels, take your elbow outside of your right knee, and then inhale, lift, come onto your toes on the inhale for the power in the legs, and then exhale down that midline, elbow out to the left to touch that knee. Inhale, press, feel the power in the legs, lift the toes, down the middle, exhale, opposite knee. We're just alternating. Press, press, power in the legs. Lift and lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. Feel that reach. We're working away from that heaviness, that depression. We're feeling that lifting. We're uplifting our mood. We're feeling the grounding, which helps us to feel safe and stable. We're working. So focus on your core as you're lifting up. Feel yourself move from the core out and activate. And really keep that core nice and strong. Keep it activated and powerful throughout this class today. Tuck those lower ribs in like a band. Beautiful. And then just one last time, lift and lengthen. And then we're going to take our arms wide as we bend our knees. Make sure our knees don't go past our toes. Knees really, really wide. Palms facing forward. Really open up the chest, take your hips back as far as they'll go, and then see if you can interlace your fingers behind your back, and then drop your belly towards your thighs with your bent knees, drop your head, and see how you can always grab your forearms instead if that feels uncomfortable. And take your stretching. I'm taking my hands up towards the ceiling, or you just grab opposite wrist or forearm and stretch and make your head heavy, tailbone up towards the ceiling, nod head, yes, no. Feel that relaxation in the neck, no tension. Feel the feet on the floor. Move into the stretch. Notice the sensation in the hamstrings. What can you be curious about? What's happening in the shoulders? What can you feel? Lovely. Perfect. So just stay there for a moment. Lovely. And then what we're going to do now then is you'll need your blocks. So grab your blocks. Place your blocks just in front of your feet, like so, with your knees still bent. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to straighten, okay, my left leg, as I take straighten my left leg with my right knee still bent, and I'm going to rotate my arm up towards the ceiling, okay, and then exhale to come down. So we're just going to flow like that. You can work with the different heights of your block, whatever feels comfortable for you. So as you straighten your left leg, rotate your chest towards the side, move from your centre, your core, and then exhale, slowly fold as you bend your knees. Straighten your left leg, move from that core, twist to the side, left arm up, and then exhale down. Straighten left leg on the inhale, lift, twist from your core, and exhale down. Feel that light tension into the hamstrings. Let's do that the opposite side. As you straighten your right leg, twist from your core and rotate to the side. Take your hand up and then bring it down. Keep knees nice and soft and as bent with your belly towards your thighs. Straighten that right leg up and reach. Moving into that stretch, feeling that sensation in the leg and the hamstrings, keeping that curious awareness of the sensation as you rotate and straighten that right leg, and down, and up, and down. Lovely. Okay, so we've got bend your knees as much as that feels now, that feels comfortable. So what we're going to do is I'm going to just turn around because I'm going to come into that low lunge twist. Have your blocks in front, okay, and then we're just going to take our right leg back. We're going to come into a low lunge, okay? So drop that right knee, making sure that your left knee is directly over that ankle. Lovely. So we're coming into a low lunge twist. Use your blocks so that you're not collapsing onto the thigh, okay? Use your different range there. And so what we're going to do is lift that back knee off the floor. So press your foot into the front foot into the floor, press into that back leg, lift and lengthen, okay? And what we're going to do is we're going to come into a twist. So I'm just going to plop this block down. I'm going to come into a twist, and I'm going to take this arm up on the inhale as I drop my right knee, and as it comes down, I'm going to lift it up. So I'm twisting towards the side, lifting the knee and dropping the knee. Okay, inhale up as I lift and exhale down. Inhale up and exhale down into that twist. Okay, so what we're going to do now with that nice big twist, okay, is we're going to come into a little bit of a jiva squat. So we're going to lift that back leg, make sure that front knee, and I'm using my blocks here to keep my chest lifted, okay, nicely, and we're just going to come into a little bit of a jiva squat. Okay, so we're going to bring this there like that, ankle to the back, and then drop it back. Okay, keep your spine long and your chest lifted. Bring the front like so, and then back. Really power into that back heel, push it back, knee over ankle, chest lifted, lifting forward, not collapsing, really pushing with the floor, Bring that there and back. Really powerful. Now we're going to swap now, where we're going to come into, okay, come to the side as we come into a wide-legged position with our toes slightly pigeon-toed with our heels slightly out. So we're in a wide-legged position with our blocks in front of us, and we're going to come into this flow. Okay, so your blocks can be this high or this high, whatever feels comfortable for you. I'm going to go slightly high here, okay? So, slightly pigeon-toed, okay? Really squeeze the thigh muscles here. Try to put the weight into the blade edge of the feet, in the outer section. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to just do a little bit of a soft bend in the knee and a little bit of a flow, okay? So just bend one knee, and then straighten and squeeze your thigh muscles. Bend one knee, squeeze and straighten. Okay, we're just moving backwards and forwards and just move into that stretch. Have a nice flat back, push your chest forward, spine long. You're just gently bending and straightening each knee. We're using this squeeze and release sensation to work with this release of tension, fight or flight anxiety. Squeeze and release, just moving and generating some flexibility. Lovely. So, blocks, then come back to centre, chest lifted, spine long. Okay, so we're just going to move into a little bit more of a flow. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to place my left hand on top of the blocks. I'm going to bend my left knee and then I'm going to touch it with my right hand, and then I'm going to inhale as I straighten that left leg and take my hand up towards the ceiling. Move from your core, move outwards. Okay, bend that left knee, touch with your right hand, twist and lengthen your chest forward, move with that core stretch. Twist and move. Twist. On the exhale, bend that knee, inhale, twist. Lovely, and then release. We're going to do the opposite side. Okay, so make sure your chest, your hips are over your heel, they're in line, and you're not coming forward or they're coming back. You're squeezing your thigh muscles. Your spine is long as your chest listed. You can use a chair. We're going to do the same for this one. Okay, so as you bend your right leg, you place your hand, touch it somewhere on your right leg, and then inhale, lift and lengthen, take your arm up towards the ceiling. Find your core, move out, twist. Exhale, inhale, lengthen, straighten that leg, squeeze the thigh muscles. Bend, twist. Bend, exhale. Squeeze the thigh muscles and twist. Bend and twist. Wonderful. So what we're going to do now then, okay, is I'm going to turn around. Okay, so I'm going to come to the front of my mat. So come to the front of your mats like so. And we've got two options here, an undulating flow. So with this undulating flow, okay, you can go into dog or plank or child's and table pose. I have to put the blocks underneath my hands. So if you're going to go into child's pose with this flow, knees wide or together, you exhale back into child's pose, and then inhale, you come up to tabletop. You can do a little bit of a cow if you want, drop your belly on the inhale as you take your head up, and then exhale, round your back into cat, as you push your hips back towards your heels. Cow, belly down, head up, round and into child's. Okay, flow with that, or if you feel as though you want to go for the full expression, jazz hands, feet hip distance apart, tuck toes under, push your upper thighs towards the sky. Hips back, hands and feet wide. Okay, if you're coming into down facing dog and your shoulders are over your wrist, bend your knees and push your hips back. Okay, so we're going to come into, so you're either doing the child's or tabletop, or this one, downward facing dog, and then dropping your knees into a core power hold. Pull your belly button in strong. Remember, Find your core, move out. Exhale, push your hips up and back. Use the power as you push your fingers into the floor. Exhale, drop knees. You can drop them if you want completely, or you can hold them 1 inch off the floor, pull your core in, and then back. Lovely. Down. So you've got that tabletop or child's pose or downward facing dog. So you're moving that flexibility into the hamstrings. Move into that flexibility. Feel that power in your core and your centre. Dropping knees, lovely. Nice. Powerful. Okay. Nice and powerful. Drop your knees if you feel you need to. Nice. So we're just going to drop our knees. Lovely. And then we're just going to come into a modified side plank. So, wrist underneath shoulders. My knee, which is my left knee, is underneath my hip. I'm just going to take the foot out towards the left, and then I'm going to rotate so that my chest comes towards the side and my leg here is nicely aligned. So that foot's behind me, my kickstand. Okay, I've got this foot here and I'm coming into my modified plank. Take your arm up towards the side. Stay here, or if you want to work on your core and your glute medius, feel that centre. Inhale and then rotate and twist. Okay, you want to make it harder, you lift that leg off the floor. You come into a modified plank and then exhale, twist. Okay, otherwise drop that leg, it's touching the floor. Inhale up, find your core and move out from that centre. Find that core as you twist. Make sure your shoulders are stacked, you're not collapsing forward. Inhale up, rotate, inhale up and rotate. Okay, and now we're going to come into a plank. You can either have plank with your knees down, okay, or full plank, which means that you need to make sure your wrists are underneath your shoulders. You lift into a straight line. Okay, there's two options, but I think what would be nice, we'll do grasshopper push-ups to develop some strength in our upper body. So keeping your left knee down on the floor, lift. Okay, you've got the option to stretch out your right leg, toes towards touching the floor, or lift that back leg. Wrists underneath shoulders, and slowly dip down on your exhale, keeping your elbows glued to the side of your chest. Don't keep your hips level. So exhale, grasshopper, and inhale, push up. You can have that toe down or up. Really work from your core and moving out. If your knee feels uncomfortable, pad your knee or put both knees down. Okay, grasshopper, press up. Really feel that power in your shoulders. And then exhale down and inhale up. And then when you feel like you want to go into a release, push your hips all the way down and back. And just let's check in with our breath and our mental and physical states in our core. So just notice any sensations happening in the body. Just notice how you feel right here, right now. Any sensations, tensions. Come back to a nice smooth flow of the breath. Feel the contact between your body and the floor and your core. So we're going to start moving now, okay? So either come into tabletop, okay, or downward facing dog, it's up to you. If you come into downward facing dog, wide fingers, jazz hands, tuck your toes under, hip distance apart, just pushing chest towards thighs. Okay, whatever you're doing, okay, you're taking your left leg forward, okay, like so. We're going to do something called running man, okay, from a high lunge twist. So use your hands to push yourself up into a high lunge, balancing on the balls of the back foot, knee over that ankle, chest forward, everything pointing forward, your hip points are pointing forward. Okay, and what we're going to do with this running man is as we take our arm forward, okay, we bring this back leg forward like so, And it's almost as if you're frozen in a running man position as we lift that right leg up. Slowly tap your right foot back. So alternate moving your arms forward. Go into your running man 4 more times. Inhale, feel your core nice and strong. Feel the power in your legs. Exhale as you drop. Inhale, strong core, running man. Find your focus. Bring that foot back down. Again, inhale, running man. Lift and feel that core work. The glute really powering up in that left leg. Feel that sensation. A running man. And then hold. Flex that foot. Place your left hand on your right knee. Nice and standing strong. Look forward, or if you feel comfortable, use your focus. Take your right hand back. And if you feel as though you can follow that and look at your hand, twist and look at that foot. Otherwise, standing strong and empowered in that leg. Feel that core, feel where you move out from it. Then very, very slowly place your toes on top of your right toes on top of your left toes into mangrove balance. Find your focus as you balance in mangrove. Keep your hip points square and your chest lifted. Then come into a mangrove balance mini chair pose. Oops, don't worry if you can't balance. Take your arms up on the inhale and then with pinky toes on top of pinky toes, very slowly on the exhale, lower your hips, keeping your hips level. This is pretty strong. Keep your chest lifted. Find your core, move from that centre. Lovely. And then inhale to come up. Nice. And then come back to your standing position. And we'll start from the beginning on the opposite side. So come back to your centre position. Lovely. Let's move through rebounding again. Feet slightly hip distance apart. Soft knees, rebounding. That's it. Shake out, body and shoulders. Swinging twist. Feel the sensation of the pivot of the heels. The movement in the thighs and the shoulders and the head. Bouncing, rebounding, shaking, twisting. You can shake a little bit more this time to get that tension out of the body. Lovely. Moving out and expand. But this time, let's move into a figure of 8. Draw a figure of 8 to release that tension in the hips this time. Figure of 8. Round and back. Round and back. Figure of 8. Feel that sway, the shift of pressure in the feet. So if you're doing Grace Jones and a rope, feel that pressure. Lovely. Up and down, up and down, up and down. Lovely. And then coming together with your feet closer together, coming to our tippy toes. But this time, okay, coming to our tiptoe balance. Nice big inhale this time. And exhale as we come down onto our heels. Left elbow, right elbow to left knee. Inhale to lift and lengthen onto your tippy toes. Reach, reach, reach. Exhale, come into your chair position. Check your knees are level, that you don't go past your toes. Move from your core, power into the legs. Alternating, exhale, opposite elbow to knee. Power into legs, lift and lengthen. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And this time bend your knees, take your chest towards your thighs and come down, take your arms wide. Wide, 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 belly towards thighs. Interlace your fingers behind your hands. Coming into your mudra clasp or grab your elbow, forearms. Come into that mudra clasp, belly towards thighs, moving into that stretch, feeling the sensation, moving into the hamstring stretch. Okay, lovely. Just notice how that feels in that ragdoll mudra. Nice, okay. So we're going to come into that low lunge on the opposite side. So we're going to drop that knee. So I'm dropping my left knee this time. Use your blocks if you need to. That really helps. So I'm dropping my left knee this time. My right knee is in front of my ankle. And I'm twisting towards the bent leg. Okay, so twist towards that bent leg. So lift that back leg as you're in a low lunge. Keep your chest forward. Inhale your arm up as you twist towards that bent knee. And then exhale, bring it down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Feel that power and strengthen the legs. Move from your centre. Move. Whew. And exhale down. Inhale up. And exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Now if I was going to go into that wide leg fold, I would have my back to you. Okay, you probably will. So I'm going to come forward so that you can see me as I come into that wide-legged fold, pigeon-toed, heels slightly apart, using your blocks to help you. Okay, but we're going to do a different thing this time. So my chest is lifted and my spine is long. I'm using the blocks to keep it that way. I'm really squeezing my thigh muscles so I'm releasing my hamstrings. Lovely. So we're going to do something that's a little bit like a skandasana. A skandasana is where I'm taking my right foot out to point into, so I'm going like this almost. So I'm bending towards this knee and then towards the other like this. So we're tapping with our elbows, okay? As you do a skandasana, you're going from side to side, bending, taking your elbow towards that bent knee. Okay, so this is like a high skandasana. So feel that sensation in your legs with this high skandasana. If we go to low skandasana, it's so low, you're almost look as though you're doing kung fu. And you're coming really, really down like that, dropping the heel, and then the opposite side, dropping that heel. Otherwise, just stay here, just tap and tap, backwards and forwards. Just a nice high skandasana. And then inhale, come to centre. Take your feet out so they're going into the corner of the mat. The heels in. We're going to come into goddess pose. Okay, so as we drop our tailbone to the floor, we bend our knees that go in the direction of our toes. Strong. Place your hands on your thighs. Keep your chest lifted, don't stick your bum out or I'll come round and put some Sylvanian families on it. So we're just going to place our hands on our thighs and then just twist. Exhale, twist towards your right knee. Inhale, centre. Exhale, twist towards that left knee. Inhale, centre. Exhale, twist. Inhale, centre. Hands into prayer position. Drop the tailbone as low as you can. Keep that chest lifted, tailbone long. Lift both your heels off the floor. And then inhale, come all the way up. Squeeze and raise. Whew, that's a tough one. So as we come forward to the front of our mats, let's come all the way down and do our undulating dog or plank, or your child's to modified table. Use your blocks underneath your hands, gives you extra room, especially when for the girls and all that lot. So if you're doing child's pose, exhale, hips back, inhale, belly down, head up, exhale, arch the spine as you're coming into child's. So you're flowing and undulating like a wave. Otherwise, come into your down facing dog, push down into your fingers and the pads of your fingers and push your chest towards your thighs. And then exhale, find your core, hold, hover your knees off the floor 1 inch. Exhale, push back, really push back, okay, and then drop. Okay, really strong, don't collapse into these shoulders. Find your core, move and flow. Drop those knees. Push back. Drop those knees. Whew. And then let's get ready for our modified plank pose. Now obviously if I do this the right leg, then I will disappear into another position. So I'm going to move over to this side. Okay? So my left leg is out and this is my kickstand, is my right leg. Okay? My wrist is underneath my shoulder. Okay? Like so. And we're rotating the chest up towards the side, like so. You have an option here to lift the leg with that arm up, really find your core and twist underneath. Thread your needle or have that foot dropped. Whichever one you're doing, nice strong core, feel that stretch. Inhale up, exhale, twist, move from your core. Find your core, move in, address it. Inhale up, twist, exhale. Grasshopper. Inhale up and exhale. Lovely. Now, do you want to do a grasshopper on this side? Okay, so if you know what to do with your grasshopper, it's the knee that's already bent and down. Okay, so your grasshopper is two options. Make sure your wrists are underneath your shoulders. Okay, your back leg is stretched out so you get that stretch into the hamstring. That knee is underneath the hip. Pad your knee if you need to. You've got two options with grasshopper dips. You either lift your leg or keep it down. Make sure your elbows are squeezed towards the side of your chest. So, off we go. Exhale down, inhale up, grasshopper. Exhale down, inhale up, exhale down. You can always do two knees if this is too much. Exhale down, inhale up, and then push ourselves back into child's. Whew. It's a strong one, isn't it? Because we're going to get ready in a minute for our running man. It's quite a powerful one. It's a very powerful class today, so just come back into checking with your breath, any sensations, the contact with your body and the floor. So opposite leg this time, so you either come to downward facing dog or tabletop. So your tabletop, push the ground away or tuck your toes under. Okay, I'm taking my left foot forward, like so, and I'm getting ready. Use your hands to push yourself up, ready for your running man. So that knees stacked, hips square to the front. Are you ready? Running man pose. So we lift that leg, flex that foot, core strong, power in the legs. Just tap with your toes. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale up, exhale down, inhale up, strong core, exhale down, inhale up, exhale down, inhale up, exhale down, inhale up, but this time hold. Woo! Did the opposite leg, didn't I? Never mind, probably you did. Right, hold, opposite hand to knee. Take that arm back and twist. Flex that foot. Oh, it's typical, isn't it? I did the wrong leg. Sorry about that, folks. Happens all the time. I hope you did the right one. Not follows me. Yeah. Do, do, do. Lovely. And then get ready for your mangrove balance. Place your toes on top of the toes. Chest lifted, spine long. Find your focus. Take your arms up on the inhale. Then exhale. Sit on your imaginary chair stool. Okay. Powerful pose, powerful pose, powerful pose. Whew. And then take your hands into prayer position and inhale to come up into your mountain pose. And then, however you want to get on the floor, I'm going to go for a Buddha squat. So we're lowering down to the floor. If your knees are sharp and they don't feel comfortable, try not to do this posture. Just get down how you want to. So I'm going to take my arms up and then I'm going to very slowly, my feet are wide, toes pointing out at the edge of the mat, very slowly exhale. I'm going to come down into my Buddha squat. Whew, whew, hip opener, Oh, whew, that was a tough one. So, you'll be pleased to know we're going to calm down now. So, come on your backs, if that feels nice. Ooh, ooh, ooh. We're going to come into a nice supine twist. Take your arms into a T position. Cross your left leg over your right, keeping your hips glued to the floor. Drop your knees all the way over to the right. And then if your neck feels free and comfortable, look in the opposite direction to your knees. I've got my right hand on top of my left knee just to gently guide it towards the floor. That was a really hard class, so if you've got through that without... just realised I thought that was quite an easy class. I thought it wasn't long enough, and as per usual. Curse of also being an English teacher, I always overplanned. And then take your arm out, inhale back to centre, all done in the best possible taste. Cross your right leg over your left and drop your knees over to the left. Keep your shoulder blades glued to the floor, left hand on right knee. If that feels free, nice, look in the opposite direction. And what with the squeeze and release, get yourself ready for your final resting pose, and you'll be pleased to know we're in Shavasana. And I'm going to take you through a nice guided relaxation. So if you want to lay on your back or on your front, prop your knees up with a bolster, put an eye mask on, and just get yourself really settled. Legs up slightly apart, arms away from the side of the body. Just settle, and I'll talk you through a nice deep guided relaxation called Spacious Awareness. So listen very carefully to the sound of my voice. And if you ever become distracted or follow a line of thought or narrative, just simply come back. First starting to become aware of the natural breath, the deep, natural, spontaneous process of breathing. No breath control, just breath awareness. Just noticing the air coming in and the air going out of the nostrils. Maybe even the tip of the nostrils. Can you express the difference without words? Can you notice the difference between the inhale and the exhale? By noticing the sensations, just feeling. And now place your attention inside of your head, the space within your head. And imagine the space between the right ear and the left ear is full of nothing but space. From the crown of the head to the tip of the chin is filling up with empty space. From the right shoulder to the left shoulder, full of space. From the right shoulder to the left hip, full of nothing but space. From the left shoulder to the right hip, full of nothing but empty space. And imagine your right arm right down to your wrist is full of space, and your left arm down to your left wrist is filling up with space. And for the wrists on both of your hands all the way down to the fingertips, full of space. And from the top of your spine down to the root, space. Right hip to the knee, left hip to the left knee, space, right knee to the ankle, space, left knee to the ankle, space. Feel both feet and into your toes, filling up with nothing but empty space. And now be aware of your whole body from head to toe, filling up with nothing but empty space. Imagine the space below you right through to the earth. Nothing but space. Space behind you, walls collapsing. Space. Space in front of you, sensing. Space above you, up through the ceiling and on through the atmosphere. Space. Everything to the left collapsing into space. Everything to the right. Nothing but empty space. Space in the notch of your throat and the back of your neck. Space in your nostrils and your ears. Space in your armpits and the dip of your shoulders. Space between your torso and your arms and fingers. Space behind and in the crank of your elbows. Space in the curve of the small of your back. Space in the curve of your left waist and your right waist. Space between your thighs and your ankles. Space behind the backs of your knees. Space in the curves of your ankles. Space in the soles and the arch of your feet. Space in and around between your toes. Space within you and space outside of you. Feel the boundary and the separation of your skin. Imagine that barrier between the space outside of you and inside of you dissolves, disappears, and you recline into this experience. Notice where is your center now. Is it solid? Can you relax into this experience and let your awareness expand and go in and out of itself? Nothing you need to do. Nowhere you need to go. Nothing you need to know. Nothing you need to get in this place. Unconstricted by a sense of time or space, absorbed into a feeling of a being. Person, not a doing person. Just linger in this open, spacious awareness. Notice everything coming in and out of your attention. Sounds, smells, emotions, feelings, sensations of physical sensations. And then bring your attention to sound. Just seek out as many sounds as you could hear. Allow your attention to reach out without labelling, analysing, or locating the source of sounds. Feel the breath and feel the floor and feel a sense of touch awakening. Bring your attention to sight even though your eyes may be closed. Become aware of sensation in the mouth. And smell in the nostrils. Become aware of your fingers and toes. nose and reconnect to smaller movements, gradually easing into bigger movements. You may want to stretch your body, wiggle your fingers, move your head from side to side, nod yes, nod no, do whatever feels right. Gradually easing back into and tuning into this room. Thank you very much for this opportunity to spend some time on your own self-care, and please show some wonderful gratitude for that because you've worked incredibly hard. Thank you very much for attending. Namaste.